So hello. My name is Dandy, and I'm a plus size model and influencer. I also go to school for business and marketing. So all that kind of ties together. So how did I get into this crazy world of everything? So when I was about like 17, 18, I went to this like runway class, and I was like, okay, this is cool. All right. And then, I did a couple shoots, whatever. And then I went and, I took a break for a bit. And then when I was 21, I discovered like the whole influencer world on Instagram. And I was like, okay, well, this is like doable. Let's do it. I feel like before I was always, afraid of, what would happen or just not being able to like do it like myself. So I was like, you know what? This is perfect. I've always wanted to help people and help women feel great about their bodies because I know I was at a point where I was getting bullied and I just, didn't feel like, you know, myself and confident. And you know what? I was like, I want to do that for other women and help them. And this is an amazing platform to be able to do that. And you can also create art with your pictures, and that's also amazing too.
And I think you do a phenomenal job of displaying not only your mentality but your overall spirituality, I would say as well. Because during the IG live, I got a sense that you're deeply connected within your soul and just how you harness your talents as well. So I kind of wanted to tap into something that you touched on in the IG live, which was that component of fear. How do you overcome fear as a plus size model?
There's many things that come into play. Being a plus size model, you're often fetishized by people. You're often not looked at as like a normal person. There can be a lot of hate speech. People saying you have health issues because you have a bigger body type and all these other things. And how did I overcome fear to be able to do that? My mother always told me, she said, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So if you love yourself, someone is going to love you. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to wake up. I'm going to love who I am. I'm going to look at the mirror. I'm going to tell myself, you're hot, you're awesome, or whatever encouragement I needed that day that I was lacking. And I was like, all right, let's just do this because I've got nothing to lose. So let's just do it. And then I always tell myself, saying, you're going to get 1,000 no's before you get a yes. And if someone says no, it's not the end of the world. You're still alive. You're healthy. You're okay. You may be embarrassed. You may feel a little weird. You may feel rejection, but it's okay. Like just keep going. And I feel like that's easier said than done. And we all need to keep refreshing ourselves and telling ourselves that to just keep a positive, mind. And yeah.
No, and I appreciate that. And one of the reasons why your brand sticks out to me is because as a young man, like I said, with the disability, but also was grew up around, men that rarely showed emotion. So like when I
Mhm.
hear and listen to your story, I kind of see how I grew up with like the disability, and I try to think about, ways that I can just not seek that external validation. So like, how would you advise someone like myself that, actually looks up to how you present yourself to basically go about their aspirations that they're kind of, trying to achieve now as a young man or a young woman?
It is just you in this world. You come in, I guess you don't come in alone, but you're born to where you don't know that you're alone. But um, you also leave this world alone. So it's kind of like, don't worry about what others say. Don't worry about what they're gonna think. Go after your goals and just do them. Don't live this life to appease other people and make them happy, because then you're going to be in a hospital or you're going to be at home when you're in your time of passing, regretting not taking those chances. And we've got one life. We're going to be, I believe in reincarnation, so your soul is going to live again. But there's also this saying where it's like, if you don't learn from this life, you're going to relive it in the next life.
Mhm.
So that's why I always believe living to the fullest and doing everything you can to, fulfill your purpose, and just don't be afraid to just like like Nike says, just do it.
A calming aura about you and how you present yourself. And normally I'm sit up in the seat, like eyes wide open, but it's just like the vibes and listening to someone like yourself that has that experience to kind of give. And, you know, a lot of men sometimes fail to listen to women because their ego and their pride, right? So like,
Mhm.
how important do you think it is for men to support and uplift women all over the world? Because I think, you know, we do have a lot of beautiful, you know, queens that come in all shapes and sizes, and I think that
Yeah.
we need to see them for who they are.
Yeah, definitely. So, there's the whole social stigma of what beauty is or what it should be or whatever the case may be. Everyone has their different standard of beauty that they think is attractive and that they like. But when it comes to, you know, loving people or, supporting people, I look at every human being as a human being. I don't look at your skin color. I don't look at your body type. I don't look at the way your hair's done. I acknowledge that I do visually see those things. However, I want to know who you are. I want to know what your soul is like. Your exterior, I believe in this society, is just so very superficial. And unfortunately, you know, many people probably agree with my thinking pattern, but then there's others that don't. And they're like, oh, there's something like in the plus size world called like fat phobia. Like people just don't want to be around people who are bigger. And that's a big, that's a big thing as well. As far as with hate comments and stuff like that. But, going back to your question, we should, we all need to support each other, whether you're super successful or you're, just on the rise and you're grinding. I think that each person needs their own form of support, because that person who is super successful, they may be stressed and we may not know it. They may need more,
Right.
someone to vent to. And then that person who is, grinding and moving their way up to the top, they may need another form of support, to just for encouragement to keep going, just to not give up. So we all need to support each other, men and women. We have to come together and support each other.
And that's what I appreciate, right? Because I think that even listening to someone like yourself and you saying that, like you said, that there could be someone grinding and getting it, and you see all the good and the success, but you don't know the stress that they go through on a daily basis. And then you could see
Mhm.
someone that's not doing it barely anything but having internal peace because they're at they're comfortable where they're at, but they're also striving to be better. So I think you present the
Yeah.
best of both worlds, and I kind of wanted to go into a compare and contrast about how we can use those perspectives to ultimately balance out our goals as men and women in this culture today. So that stigma where there's a certain value or certain opinion on the body or the mind or the heart, whatever the case might be. How can we get over that as a culture to see, just like you said, you don't see anything, you just want to get to know that person as a whole? How do you think we can get over that moving forward?
Yeah. So, this all starts, as far as what we are conditioned from birth. We are conditioned that we must go to school, get a job, work a 9 to 5. We are conditioned to have a relationship, have kids. We are all conditioned from birth to do all those things. So, as we are conditioned to do all those things from birth, we are also conditioned with our thinking patterns from the way we have been taught through media, our parents, friends, all of those things bounce off of your brainwaves and you take those in. So I believe that in order to overcome this, we all need to be more woke, woke terms, meaning like more
Uh,
self-aware.
they
And
will.
people have to want to be self-aware. People have to want to be self-aware to say like, oh, hey, you know what? This person is a great person. Yeah, they may be 5'2", but they have an amazing soul and I want to date them. Or this person may be a bigger person, but they have an amazing brain and I want to hire them. Stop looking at the surface of who we are as humans. This is just a cover. Like I said, our souls are just very complex things. And to overcome this, we need to be open-minded, self-aware, and we need to realize that you know, our arrogance and our egos as humans, we need to just put that away, put the pride away, and know that at the end of the day, we all bleed the same.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, without your money and career, you're a human being on this planet, and we should all treat each other as such.
And that's why I appreciate you. For those of you that are listening and tuning into this replay, I think that it's amazing to see such a phenomenal woman have that perspective and that humbleness about her, and it radiates in her spirit. And so, I definitely appreciate you, sharing your perspective. And I definitely want to tap into a little game that I like to play when I have guests come into the Famco studios, right? So I wanna go 7 whys deep, right? So I
Okay.
want I want you to tell me, I'll say, why do you do something, right? You'll give me a response. There will be something that I'll take out from that response and then ask you why about that. So I'm gonna do it seven
Okay.
times. I want you to go,
Okay.
this is supposed to hurt, it's supposed to make you think, and it's supposed
Okay.
to pick your brain because I know you're more than beauty, right? So I want you to let the world know how passionate you are about your craft and why you do it. So this is going to say a lot about your character, which I know is going to radiate beyond.
Okay, cool. I'm ready for the challenge.
Ready? All right, all right.
All right,
So
go ahead.
why did you get started in modeling?
Because I have always felt the need to want to help others and educate others, because when I reached out, when I started, no one helped me, and I want to be the forefront to help others.
Great. I love it. I love it. Two, why do you want to help others?
Okay. So, um it's always been something I've been passionate about. I am an Aquarius, so Aquarius, they're all about humanitarian and helping others. And in research to finding out what my life path number is, which anyone can look up, that would be like your date, of your whole entire date of birth. So like 2, 5, and then whatever year you were born. Um, and that tells you like what your life purpose is. So like before I even knew what my life path number was, it was crazy to see how the way I already was kind of reflected on paper, where you just want to. So the life path number 4, which is what I am, is to always want to help knowledge people and nurture people into becoming the best version of themselves.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that. So why do you feel change is so pivotal in our society today?
Well, just like a chameleon, it adapts to its surroundings. So we need to do so, and we need to adapt to our surroundings, but then also we need to not only blend in, but we need to stand out. Kind of like when the lizard turns colors and it's just all rainbows instead of stone on the rocks, right? We all need to stand out, and we all need to speak up on our purpose. We need to not be afraid to just say what we mean, what we feel, and go for it and make change.
Love it. I love it. You're doing an amazing job. Uh, why is it so essential to adapt?
To adapt, because you're throwing so many curveballs. But so just to expand on that, wouldn't life be boring if it was just like, you're floating in a river, you're on a little canoe? Okay. Life is so much more exciting when you're on a roller coaster, right? So the ups and the downs are amazing, and you gotta adapt to them so you continue to succeed, continue to gain knowledge, and just be better and best version of yourself.
That's amazing. I like the way you explain that. And this, like I said, this is to get the essence of that perspective that you have that's so beautiful, right? So the next one is, why is knowledge so important?
Why is knowledge so important? Whew. Well, I feel like knowledge is such a vast thing. I mean, we only use 10% of our brain, right? So I want to fill that 10% of my brain with the most ever. And knowledge is power because, well, you can buy a textbook, you can't buy or have someone like put all that information in that textbook in your brain. You have to want to know and apply yourself. So knowledge is power because, like, for example, someone who just gives birth in an elevator, if you know how to help deliver that baby, you just saved a life. And it's kind of like a ripple effect through the universe.
I like that. I like that. You're doing a phenomenal job. I definitely can tell that. Ooh, you've been through some things. So this kind of leads into the next one. You have two more left, and then I want
Okay.
to get your synopsis of kind of the challenge, right? So, why is adversity so essential for one to go through in life?
Wow. Well, life would be boring, wouldn't it? Wow, I would hate to be, and not say I hate to be, but wouldn't it be kind of boring if you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth? You got everything you wanted. Well, it would be great where you can, survive, have money, and do everything that you would dream of. You don't have those experiences to build your character, build substance, those struggles. You'll never know what it feels like to really appreciate something because you didn't struggle to earn it. And I think that that is the most amazing part of life, is the journey to getting your goals and getting the things that you want. Is the struggle and the hard work is so worth it.
I appreciate that. That definitely puts a lot of things into perspective. You did a phenomenal job. And then this last one wraps it up because it's kind of it's definitely a rhetorical question. So
Yeah, sure.
why is Jessica so phenomenal?
Why am I so phenomenal? Wow. What an ego boosting question. No, I'm kidding. um, and I think that, as I play off the word, how I just used ego, I think that before I do explain, um, I think that, confidence is confidence and knowledge and just knowing, like, being able to just put your foot forward and be confident, be action and confident. I feel like that's very frowned upon in society. A lot of people look at it as like ego, pride, and arrogance. And I think that we, all as a society and as people need to really um, go back to what those words really mean and decipher what the difference is. Feeling confident is just being able to put yourself out there and be the best version of yourself and just be able to help others as well. So what makes me phenomenal? Wow. Okay. Um, Now I have to self-analyze myself. I'm kidding. All right. So from the outside looking in, I think that I am phenomenal because I am always going to give someone what they don't want to hear. I'm always going to tell you what you need to do, but give you 10 ways to do it. I'm always going to give you that advice that you need when you're feeling upset. I'm always going to support you. I'm always going to spread knowledge to people, even if it's the same opportunity that I've gotten, because there is more than enough bread in this world for all of us to eat and be successful. And you cannot mess up an opportunity that's for you. Also, just all around being able to speak with so many people, get along with so many personalities. And I feel like my study of astrology and studying different personalities and different personality types has really helped me be the best sociable person that I can be, with just how certain people communicate, which is very in depth. But um, just to end it off, I'm never going to sugarcoat something, and I'm going to tell you what you don't want to hear. But what you don't want to hear is going to make you uncomfortable, and it's going to help you grow. And that is very important.
I appreciate that, and I love the way you went through the amazing challenge that I think so many people struggle with because they think at that surface level, right? And I think that this is one of the ways my mentor has challenged me to think. of, you know, 7 whys deep. So I really appreciate that. And one thing that really, really stood out to me was, right, is that you're not going to sugarcoat it. You're going to tell someone the way that they don't want to hear it, but you're going to give them 10 ways to get it done. So I really like appreciate that. That was, I don't know if that was the word for word how you said it, but it was really
Yeah.
essential. Like, I think that's what I got from that. So what did you think of that, like that challenge, like that 7?
The challenge, like
Yeah.
the seven things.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I liked it. I like very for me it was really easy to answer all that because I really like not confrontational conversation, but substantial conversation that really digs into that part of my brain. I'm a
Mhm.
very like quick thinker, and I like to talk, so it was pretty easy for me to answer. But
And
I think
that's
it's
what
good. I think it's, you know, if you're able to pick someone's mind like that, you know, someone who may not be as talkative or just, you know, to really just to dig deep, I think it's a great exercise.
and I appreciate that. And I think that that's what makes this interview, and that's what makes this I would say conversation. It's more so of a conversation. I think now at this point with you, so such easy and a woman to kind of learn from, right? And I'm at a point where I can listen and sit back and just like I've been so chill and just like, okay, how can I, you know, listen and get you to talk more and get out of your shell so I can hear those gems, because they're not gonna come out unless I ask, right? You're
For
closed
sure.
mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I appreciate you. I don't want to hold you too long. I know I wanted this to, you know, go until 9 o'clock. It's 8:59. So I want you to leave us with some last minute gems again. And I want you to just let us know when part 2 is coming, because I'm gonna need that in verbal, like, yeah, today. Because I need that part 2. Because I mean, like, you were phenomenal with the gems. We could do it, you know, via YouTube or whatever, however you want to do it. I just think that just I know for myself, surrounding myself with the energy that radiates that positivity is how you keep that peace of mind. And so that's where I'm at now with, you know, where I'm moving forward and how I'm moving
Yeah,
forward.
definitely. Um, to end off with some gems, I know so many of the things that I've said here in this space that we've shared are easier said than done. Everything is easier said than done. However, you know, my biggest thing is keep yourself organized. Take that awesome calendar on your wall or on your phone. Keep yourself organized. Time management is everything today. It is absolutely everything. And if you can manage your time and you can write down everything you need to accomplish in a day, you will get it done. Take it step by step by step. And also with that, don't be afraid. Do not live in fear. This life is amazing. Um, just be able to tell yourself it's okay to go for that goal, go for that dream, and do anything that I want to do because I am not living in fear. Always tell yourself that. Tell yourself you can do this. It may be embarrassing. You may feel rejection if you get a no, but it's okay. Just do it because you're not going to die. You're going to be okay. And that's what I always tell myself. And still to this day, I tell myself that because I do have moments where it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should do it. But then I'm like, you know what? No, go do it. It's okay. Like, go do it. You know, so kind of keeping that little person in the back of your head to push you is important. Yeah.
I do appreciate how you express yourself. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You are a true phenomenal woman.
Thank you. And I just actually just wanted to add one more thing onto what you said about vulnerability and, you know, women versus men really quick. I think that, you know, being vulnerable is okay. Showing emotions is okay. You are human. I really hate that society has put a stigma on men and women to not be able to show emotions because it appears weak or, you know, insecure. It's okay. You're human. Don't be afraid of that. It's totally okay. And that's, you know, I hope that people can be more open and more comfortable to do so. And I hope that people can also be more accepting of other people's emotions as well, so we can all relate to one another.
Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Yes, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. You have a nice night. All right.
You too.